I'm doing well. How are you feeling?
Well, I've had better days.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I was
So
so
tell
I
me
was so
about it.
pissed. I was so pissed off at that. I I opened right up to him, told him everything, and I failed it. And he said that one of the ones was that if I have drank in the last 2 weeks, and I told him no,
hmm
so I hadn't. I haven't drank in the last 2 weeks.
When
At
was the
least as
last
far
time
as
that
I
you
can,
drank?
as far as I can remember, it was. I thought it was 3 weeks ago. I thought it was. Look at the calendar. I I thought it was on the 30th, that Sunday. That's when I thought the last time I drank was.
Okay. Why do you think it was on the 30th? What do you remember about that?
Because I don't remember drinking on the 4th because I worked on the 4th. But then I saw the thing about it. I only wound up working like 6 hours. I can't remember what I did after I got home.
Do you remember recently stopping at the store and picking up beer when you weren't at Tony's?
I remember. I remember. I remember coming here and drinking a 6-pack.
Okay. When was that?
I was thinking that was on the 30th. Maybe it wasn't.
Well, that was on a Sunday, and that's usually when you would hit up Tony because you don't have to
Right.
go to work the next day.
Maybe that's why I was thinking that the 30th was the last time that I drank. Because usually it's on a Sunday that I go over and drink with Tony.
Okay.
But I don't remember drinking after that. I don't remember if I drank on the 4th. And he asked me, he said, what about the 4th? And I said, I worked that day. But
Mm-hmm.
then after I left, the more I thought about it, I was like, well, I only worked 6 hours, but I don't remember what I did when I got home. I don't remember if I drank any or not. I don't remember what day it was.
Okay, so, but it's
But
possible that it was within the last 2 weeks.
it almost seems like it might have been, wait a minute, let me think here. So when was it I started going to AA? That was on the 9th, right? It seems like it was 2 days before that. So it
Okay,
seems like.
so that was definitely within 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was definitely within 2 weeks.
So there you go.
But I don't remember if that's right or not.
Well, there's something
Yeah,
about you that remembers. There's a reason why you failed the question. You knew
I
that it
know.
wasn't, when he says 2 weeks and you're not sure, that probably raises enough of a question. When you say no, I have not drank, that's not a definite answer.
I know. But when he asked me within 2 weeks, I had already told him that I hadn't because I was thinking that I hadn't. Says because it was I went to AA on that Tuesday. Then I went again this last Tuesday,
hmm
and I automatically thought 2 weeks.
What about any other time in between then? Did you have at least one beer
No, haven't had any since I've been going to AA
since the 9th?
since the 9th.
Okay.
And see, it was the week before that that Maria told me that she wanted me to start going to AA. And remember, I had mentioned it to you, and oh no, you were gone then. But I had sent a text to your phone saying that I wish you'd let me go to the one in Skowhegan because it was closer, and I didn't know when the one in Cambridge was. But then I found out what the one in Canaan was, and I liked that better than going to Skowhegan anyway.
Mhm.
So, but it wasn't until the 9th that I started going to the one in Canaan. But
So when did Maria tell you that she wanted you to go to AA?
it was, I believe, it was on the 1st.
On Monday the 1st?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't seem, I don't know.
So why would Maria tell you to go to AA?
Because I told her when I drank. I was being honest with her about when I drank.
Okay.
So she wanted me to go to AA. And she told me that it would also help her when she had to go in front of the judge to show the judge what I had been doing and the steps that I had made. I was like, all right, Debbie wants me to go to AA too. So, and I really do want to stop drinking. So,
Yeah,
what I
I
got to
thought
do.
AA was something that you thought of on your own, but it was actually Maria's story. That's what
It was
she wanted
Maria's.
you to do so that she could go in front of a judge.
Yeah, it was Maria's idea for me to go to AA. She's the one that said for me to go to AA. But after that, it was like I got to thinking more and more because of all the talking to you, and you wanted me to keep going to AA, and I thought about it even more, and I was like, I really do want to quit drinking. So that's when I talked to Maria.
So when you,
Yeah,
so was
actually,
this,
wait a minute, because I saw Maria on Sunday, but no, on Monday. I think I drank that Monday.
so you saw her that Monday. She suggests that you go to AA and then you drank.
I just don't know which Monday it was. I saw her that Monday.
You saw her Monday the
Ah,
1st.
wait a minute. God, I hate remembering days.
Because you had already been going to AA. You went a couple of times. I mean, it didn't go well, but was that her suggestion back then too?
Back then, no, that was your suggestion back then.
Okay. Did you tell her that you had been a couple of times and then you drank
Yeah.
immediately after?
I don't know if I told her that or not. I told her I had been a couple times. I don't know if I did tell her that I drank, but I don't know if I told her if I drank immediately after or not. Because I don't think I specified the times that I drank.
Okay. So what was the purpose of you meeting with her on the 1st?
On the 1st was, oh, hell was it? Oh, I think that's when I had to sign the paper for this drug test thing.
Okay.
I think that's what that was for, because that was the last time I was in her office and I had to sign the papers then.
Okay.
And then she had to set it all up.
Hang on
So,
one second. I'm just gonna check really quick because I remember you sent me pictures of that paper, and I want to just check the date really quick. So, because I'm just trying to make sure that I understand and not get things all muddled up and confused like I
I didn't
normally
even think
do.
about it. All right, that was on the July 8th. I got the paper right in front of me.
Okay, so you met with her on July 8th, and then you drank that day.
Did I drink that day?
Well, you said that after you met with her, you did.
No, it was the day after. It was the day before. The day before, because it was on Sunday. The day before that I drank.
On the
And when I went
7th
in
is when
saw
you
her.
went and bought the 6-pack.
Yeah. No, the 8th is when I asked her if she could do something to help me stop drinking. That's when she did. She went in and talked to Bryce, and then she came out with that.
Did
With
she
that
already
paper.
have that? Did she already have that all set up based on the last polygraph and the last time that you had already admitted to her that you were drinking?
Not as far as I knew, she didn't. She never said anything to me about it. And maybe she already had it in her mind to do it, but
Yeah, I mean, well,
she didn't say anything to
are you
me.
paying for these tests?
No, no, the
Okay.
government has to pay for them.
Okay. The way that I'm thinking about it is she would make a suggestion to you like going to AA, but she's not going to go through the trouble and the paperwork and getting requests completed and permissions in order to set up this urinalysis, which is going to cost money.
Yeah, so maybe she probably already had it in her mind to do something with me.
Yeah, and I mean that would make sense that they didn't want to do the breathalyzer anymore because they needed to do something more, maybe something that's going to be more accurate.
Yeah, that wouldn't be more accurate than the breathalyzer though.
So they tried the breathalyzer, and I believe you had said that it didn't work a couple of times, that you had either missed doing it or you failed.
No, breathalyzer. I was all good with the breathalyzer on every one of them.
Okay, I thought that you told me that there was issues with that too.
No, the breathalyzer was fine. I was all good with the breathalyzer because when I did the breathalyzer, I think there was a couple of times that I missed because I was sleeping. So I had to call and tell them. Well, it wasn't Maria that was doing it; it was another probation officer that was doing the breathalyzer thing. So I had to call her the next day and tell her that I didn't that I missed it at the time that it went off because I was sleeping or I know
When did
one
it
time I was
normally go
sleeping
off?
at random. I know it went off once on me in the middle of the night. I didn't get it because I was sleeping.
Were
And
you drinking?
Stacy was her
Honestly,
name. No, I wasn't drinking.
you didn't drink
I was
at
literally
all during the time when you had the breathalyzer.
that whole 3 months. I didn't drink at all.
Okay.
That's why I really wanted the breathalyzer because I knew I'd have to be accountable. I knew it was going to be right there with me. It wouldn't interrupt my work for another thing, and I knew I could do it right then and there.
I want to see why they're making you do this P test. If that worked so well, I want to see why this time they're having to take it another step.
I like it all because I'd rather have the breathalyzer.
Okay. You know what? Let me see if Emma's available. I want to see if she maybe has an idea because since she's dealt with this kind of stuff before, maybe she's seen it.
Okay.
It's ringing right now.
Okay.
She might still be working.
I think she was shopping earlier. She
Hello?
told me that.
Oh, is she? Hey, Emma.
Hi.
Hi. So I have Lorne here on the line, and we were just
Hi,
talking.
Emma Lou.
Hey, you.
We were just talking about his drug test that he's supposed to be taking, and why they may have gone to a P test instead of giving him the breathalyzer again.
Usually because the breathalyzers, if you had blown positive, if you've ever had one in your history, or you didn't have a perfect track record with that, and they saw that you needed it again, they would go up the next tier to something like urinalysis.
Okay.
And then, for certain drugs, whatever your drug of choice is, it would be a blood test after that. Is that are they making Lorne do something totally different now?
Well, they're having him do the P test instead of doing it. They didn't give him a breathalyzer again.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember when I did the breathalyzer, Emma?
Oh, yeah. I remember it well. It was in October 2017, and you had a dirty, and twice you didn't show up when you should have. So maybe that's why they did it.
Dirty. I didn't have any dirties. I didn't have any dirties.
No, you did, babe.
Huh?
Yeah, you did. You gave me you sent me pictures of the paperwork of your reprimand. You fucking liar. Hold on. I have my satchel right here because I keep your CDs in my my work case because it has a lock on it. Hold on.
I don't remember having any dirties on that because I don't think I drank the whole time.
Give me a sec, sorry.
That's almost 2 years ago, so maybe you just don't remember.
Oh, here's a picture I drew of Lorne and Bud. Here it is.
Oh.
In addition to any other requirements, defendants shall submit to testing with a remote alcohol monitoring device that measures breath alcohol content for a period not to exceed 4 months. During the alcohol testing period, the court authorized a search of defendants' geographic geographic location and research of the case files and records of the breathalyzer test. On October 3rd, Armstrong failed to submit a breath test as directed. On October 6th, Armstrong failed to submit a breath test as directed. On October 4th, Armstrong submitted a positive alcohol test with a 0.07 blood alcohol content. U.S. probation officer Stacy Laughlin contacted Armstrong about the positive result. He admitted to consuming alcohol. Did you forget about that, sweetie? That was when you were with Mona. Yeah.
I did forget about that. I still don't remember it.
A doggy! Oh, that's a
You know,
picture of my friend with his dog. Do you want it, sweetie? Yeah. Here you go. Is that okay? Sorry, Lorne. Here you go, sweetie. I'm gonna color it. He's gonna color it. All right, I'm gonna have to let you go. I'm on kid duty. But you can call me back. I'll be around about an hour or two.
Okay. All right. Thank
Take
you.
care, guys.
Right.
You're welcome.
Alrighty,
Thank you, Emma.
bye.
All righty, bye-bye.
All right.
Yeah, at least now we know.
Yeah.
How did she wind up coming up with that so fast?
Well, I guess she has it in a bag that she carries that has a lock on it, and she probably keeps all her important stuff in there.
How did I wind up that important for her to carry my paperwork around?
I don't know. Well, she thinks you're important. She wants to look out for you.
Christ. Oh, this is nuts. Oh,
well,
Jesus.
at least you know you can always call her and she'll tell you exactly what was going on at any particular time.
That is so fucking funny. Oh, wow.
All right. So, does that make sense to you now?
Yeah, but I still don't remember the fourth. Drinking, I don't remember it.
They have the test. Obviously, they had to speak to you about it.
Maybe after that first one, maybe that's when I went the rest of the time not drinking. Like I'd say, I'd look for the paper, but I'd never be able to find the paper.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I wish I can remember when it started. We'll have to ask Emma when it started.
Okay, yeah, we can ask her the next time she's on the line.
I know I went a long time not drinking.
Mm-hmm.
It really seems like it was after that time there that I blew a positive. It seems like it was after that I didn't drink the rest of the time that I was on it. Remember, I was working for Linkletters when I think I just started working for Linkletters.
Well, remember Emma said that it was when
you
you were with Ramona. So when did that end?
Crap, I don't remember that either.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember when that ended. I don't keep track of dates like everybody else.
Okay. Well, it really helps to know this kind of stuff, so that you're aware of the things that are happening, how long something was going on.
Yeah, no. I should keep track of the stuff.
All right. Hang on one second. I'm just going to, maybe she'll answer a text if I text her really quick. Since we're talking about it, we may as well know.
Good thing I got you and Emma and Whitney. I don't fucking remember anything.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I don't think about this stuff. Well, I just do it and get it done.
I mean,
what a guy, huh?
Yeah.
Crap.
Okay. So now we know that the breathalyzer really wasn't successful, because had it been, you wouldn't have drank and had a bad test.
Shit.
That really sucks, Lorne.
I know.
Like, why would you do that?
I don't know.
Did you think that you could beat the system? Like how you had beat the other polygraphs and stuff like that? Didn't think you would get caught?
I don't know if it was because I was trying to beat it or if I just didn't care anymore because of all the Ramona crap. I don't know really what happened. That's why if I knew when it started, I might be able to.
Guess what? Emma sent me a picture of the paper.
Oh, good. Well, good. Cause I wish you had all Copy of all of them. That way you know right off the bat.
Let's see.
I had your address. I just mail you everything I have.
Oh, God.
We talked about that once. You would definitely have fun.
Probably OJ's attorneys didn't have as much paperwork and reprimands and all kinds of stuff in there. Okay, July 26th. Oh, yeah, here's where it said. Okay. So this is where she was reading it from. She said October 3rd, you did not take the test. October 6th, you did not take the test. But it was on the 4th that the test was positive.
October 3rd. I wonder why I didn't take this October 3rd.
I would have to say, Lorne, that you were probably drinking. Because
I don't know.
Look at
There's a couple times I missed it that I wasn't drinking.
Well, look at how close the dates are.
But does it say the time on it?
No, it doesn't say the time. No. It just says the dates. But considering how close they are,
yep.
And the positive one was on the 6th, and the 3rd and the 4th you didn't. So I'm going to go in the Wayback Machine.
So it's only those 3 times that I missed it, though, right?
Well, I'm going to take a closer look at this. This is where, in this particular section, this is where it's listed. So the 3rd in 2017 was a Tuesday. The 4th was when you failed. Was on a Wednesday. So it's very possible that they sent you a text before midnight on the 3rd, and then you didn't take that, but then on the 4th you ended up taking it. Maybe they sent you another one, and then the 6th was on a Friday. So
the 6th was on a Friday, and I think I worked a lot of Saturdays, so maybe it was the 6th. The reason I didn't take it was because I was sleeping.
In all honesty,
there was once or twice that I was sleeping.
You have absolutely drank the night before working, and you've been hungover and you sleep in. So that definitely happens. So it's possible that on the 4th, maybe it was when you woke up, they sent you another text to take it, and that's when it came back positive. I don't know the times that they were sending this to you.
Okay. What you just said might have rang a bell.
Okay.
Because I remember Stacy calling me that morning
to
ask me why I didn't take the test.
Okay.
And well, no, she sent the test to me, and
she sent it to you on the 3rd, and then she called you on the 4th and asked you why you didn't take it.
That morning she sent it to me on the 4th.
Okay.
I took it, and I figured I must be fine by then, and she must have got the results, and then called me and asked me what happened the night before. I told her I drank. So that's when I admitted to her that I drank. So I remember she called me that morning after I took the test, and she told me that I had failed it.
Okay. Had that ever worked before then?
Had whatever worked before?
Like you're drinking, like say they sent you the reminder to take the test at 5:00 on Thursday. So you blow it, and you know that they're not going to send you another one, I don't think, on the same day. They would only send it once a day, right?
No.
Oh, that can be any time? Okay.
Yeah, well, I think it started out at 5 times a day.
Okay.
And then I think it went down to like 3 times a day.
Okay. So then maybe...
And it was at random.
Okay. So then it's possible that on Thursday you had taken all of your tests for that day. You figure, okay, I'm going to have 3. 3 of them already came in. After the last one, there was enough time for you to start drinking. And you figured, by the time I wake up, I'm hopefully going to be sober enough. And hopefully during that time, they wouldn't have sent me another test. And hopefully they're not going to send me one right then. And it's going to be later on in the day. So you took the chance. So did you do that sometimes?
I think that was the only time that I did it. And I think that what you just the way you just said that, I think that was
Mhm.
my thought process at the time. So I was playing chance.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering if it had crossed your mind, because obviously getting away from alcohol has been almost impossible for you. Even when
It's
you
been
have
a
a
minute.
breathalyzer attached to your phone, it's impossible for you to stay away from it 100%.
It's been an issue. It makes me mad because it never used to be an issue. I never used to have a problem with it.
Well, here's the thing, Lorne, is that you have to think about is when you say it makes me mad because it used to not be an issue. That's irrelevant.
Oh yeah. Well, what I'm saying that it bothers me that now it's hard for me to get away from them.
But that's not really something I think that's productive to concentrate on.
That's true because it doesn't do me any good to concentrate on that right now.
Right. That's why I'm saying it's been impossible for you to get away from it. And I feel like you had gotten such a benefit out of drinking. It made you feel better. You wanted to, whether it was alone or when you would go to Tony's.
I can tell you that the whole thing has bothered me, and I would drink to try to get away from the thought of it all.
What do you mean the whole
Of
thing bothers you?
the whole thing, the sticking, everything I did went through, the internet stuff
Mm-hmm.
after getting out of prison,
Mm-hmm.
everything bothered me so much, and I would think sometimes to try to get away from them, or actually
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times to try to get away from them,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a big reason why I would go over to Tony's, because I could sit there and we drink and not talk about the sting and the internet and things I said, except for the only thing he used to say was get on the ground. He'd say that
Right.
every great once in a while. He'd say that,
Yeah.
and I know that he'd just be kidding with me, just poking me a little bit.
Right.
But the conversation wasn't based around what was being said on the internet about me and the sting and all that. And that's part of the reason why I enjoyed going over to Tony's.
Well, it
Because I
wasn't
could
going to
just get
be
away from
part
that.
of the conversation when you were hanging out with your mom or someone
Yeah,
else.
it was. That's true too, because Mom wouldn't talk about it hardly at all.
Right. So
Nobody else either.
it was likely just because you wanted to drink.
Quite possible. I can't really say quite possible because I want the first beer after I numbed my tongue from the first beer. The rest of them tasted all right and felt good to just on myself.
Mhm.
So yeah, I enjoyed the drinking.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
enjoyed the drinking with Tony, and that became a problem because I like drinking with Tony.
Well, because you would get in your car after and you would drive.
Yeah. And he'd never come over here to drink because when he wouldn't drive, didn't want to drive.
You didn't have to go over there.
Right. It was my choice.
Right. It was your choice. Yeah. So
Dumbass
whether or
choice.
not they wanted to come over and hang out with you, or if they made you come over to see them all the time, that doesn't matter either.
Yeah.
It's the point that you went there, and even if you only did it one time, it's still one time too many.
Yeah,
It's too many times when it's the first 10 times. It's too many times the first 20, and it just goes on and on.
Especially when I get so much to lose and I could kill someone in the process.
And you know these things, and it was the unfortunate thing that gets thrown out the window as soon as you decide that you just want to go ahead and do it anyway.
Yeah.
What would have happened is you would have cried about it if you got caught.
Yeah. Stupid.
And at that point, it's too late. So, it's the same story over and over. You know exactly what you're doing. You try to beat the system, and you're just not going to.
Stupid to try.
It is stupid to try, but you keep doing it. That's the problem.
The system that I'm trying to beat is my own because it screws up my life.
No, you're trying to beat society system. You're trying to beat the system that's put in place by probation. That's what you're trying to be. Your own system is, you're going along with that just fine.
You're right, because I'm rebelling. I was rebelling against it because I didn't want all that freedom taken away like that.
What do you mean by them saying you can't drink at all?
Right.
So what was that going to prove by you drinking and failing your test?
It wasn't proving anything other than I was being ignorant and saying, "Ha ha, I did it anyway."
Who's saying ha ha
done
now?
so much damage.
Who's saying ha ha now, Lorne?
I know.
Not you.
Not me.
So
That's
here,
for damn
I
sure.
want to read this to you. Since you don't have the paper, I want to read it to you because I want you to see how long this has been going on. Okay?
Okay.
Because on here, on the very first page, it gives some examples.
Hey, guess what?
It gives some examples of times when they've had to make contact with you regarding alcohol.
Okay.
Okay? So you have September 15th, 2015. There was a home inspection, and that's when Mitchell was there. Actually, there's his name. He observed you consuming alcohol, and you admitted to drinking 4 beers. And there were 8 that were observed at the residence. So there's your 12-pack right there. You just happened to have already gone through 8 of them.
I'm trying. I think I remember that, and I hadn't gone through 8.
Well, it says that there's
left in
8 empty beer bottles there when there's supposed to be 0.
I don't think that was. I don't think I had already drank them that day. I think those were from the day before, because when Mitchell was there, I wasn't drunk. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't drunk. I was 4 beers drunk, but I was coherent, so I weren't, still slurring my words, all that crap. Because Mitchell sat right down and had a conversation with me, and he told me just to make sure I slowed down on the beer, and don't make it more than a 6-pack or something like that.
Okay, I find that very strange, but
well,
okay.
I remember him being there, and I remember him saying, "Don't get." He said something to the effect, "Don't drink or something like that." I remember I hadn't even had a 6-pack yet. But those empty bottles, I believe, were from the night before. I think that's what I drank the night before. I don't remember quite clearly, but
yeah,
that's what I believe. I'm not going to say that's exactly what happened.
I don't think that that's what happened, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think that you had a 12-pack. I think you already had drank 8 of them. I think that's what makes more sense.
Well, the problem that I have with that is I've never been drunk around Mitchell.
But you don't really know that for sure.
That I've been being drunk around Mitchell. I've never been drunk around Mitchell.
But you were intoxicated. So what do you mean by drunk? Do you mean by falling down? Do you mean that you're in the bathroom vomiting? Do you mean that you're screaming at the top of your lungs at somebody on the phone? Like, what is your definition of drunk? You were intoxicated. He knew that you were.
Well, I was obviously intoxicated, even if there was only 4 beers in me. But
right.
I wasn't, because 8 beers really would make me drunk. And I
all right. Well, listen,
I'm not, something like that.
We're not going to go crazy here over this. I believe that you had a 12-pack. That's what I believe. I don't think that they were from the day before. So we're going to move on to the next one. Okay. October 7th. So we're at October 7th.
Okay.
It says, reported to sex offender treatment group while under the influence of alcohol. He later admitted to the treatment provider that he had consumed 3 beers prior to attending treatment.
Yep, I remember.
What is that about?
That was about Ramona.
What about Ramona?
I was stressed out, and I bought a 6-pack, I think, and I went home, and I had 3 hours before I had to go to class, or like 3.5 hours before I had to be to class. So I sat there and drank 1 beer every hour, and I was just stressed, and my muscles were all tight, and I wanted them to loosen up.
Okay.
And I used that to loosen them up.
That was in 2015?
Yep, I think so. If it says 2015 on it, that's when it was. Obviously, I'm not going to remember the date. But I remember that because I remember her smelling that on me. That's when I was in class with Jean
Okay.
in Waterville, and I remember her smelling it on me, and she asked me if I had been drinking, and I said no. I said I'd been eating a lot of fruit.
Oh,
Which is
Jesus
a dumbass lie.
Christ.
But at the end of class, I stayed after class and I told her, I said, Gene, I was drinking before. I just didn't want to say it in front of everyone else. She said, I had a feeling that you had been because I could smell it. And I apologized to her for lying. And she said, I have to tell Mitchell about it. I said, yeah, I know. So then Mitchell mentioned it to me, and I can't remember what happened after that.
Let's see. So, all right. There's a little note here. May 4th, 2017, you admitted to Bryce that you drank alcohol on March 29th and drank an average of a 12-pack of beer over a weekend 3 times a month.
Yeah, I think that's when Mitchell transferred, and Maria became my probation officer. And that's when I was living in Canaan, and Bryce and Maria came there, and Bryce went in and saw my big pedigree dog bag full of beer bottles. And he asked me how many I usually drank. I said, I usually drink a 12-pack on the weekends.
And then July 26th, 2017.
Holy crap, what?
It just
Where
it's on
did
this
she get all this info at?
It's on this one paper, written reprimand.
Where did she get that egg? I never sent that to her.
You had to have.
I don't remember ever sending the paper like that to her.
She has it, so it looks like a picture that you would have probably taken with your phone. And you probably took it back then. Yeah.
Help if I could remember something.
Well, you seem to remember certain things. Like you remember, oh, I didn't drink a 12-pack that day.
Well, there's certain things that I do remember. It's like Bryce and Maria being there. I remember that specific day, Bryce and Maria coming in, and Bryce introducing me to Maria, and telling me that Maria is my new probation officer. And then they did a walk around my house, and I remember Bryce seeing my pedigree dog bag full of beer bottles.
No, I mean when Mitchell went there in 2015.
Yeah,
and he saw the 8 bottles, and
he saw the 8 empty bottles.
Right, and you admitted to consuming 4. So I would have to say that you probably had a 12-pack.
Well, see, I'm trying to remember because it was during the daytime that Mitchell came there. But I've never had 8 beers in me when Mitchell was there. I remember having some beer in me that one time when he was there, because he looked through my computer, and I remember sitting at the table.
Yeah.
I remember him saying something about making some comment of don't drink too many or something. He made some comment. I was thinking it might have been that it was don't drink more than a 6-pack. But I could be wrong on that if I did wind up just to drink more. So, but he made some comment. I can't remember what it was. Okay. But I don't remember drinking that many when he had ever been around. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it's just a mistaken memory, because I can completely see you drinking that many and saying, "Oh yeah, I only drank 4."
It could be a mistaken memory because it happens to me a lot.
Right.
That's why if it weren't for you and Emma and Winnie to remember things, I probably wouldn't remember how to write my name.
Yeah. And you wouldn't get busted on everything, too.
I know. Yeah, since you've been around, I really get busted on shit.
Yeah. I mean, has it ever been worth it? All the lying and stuff? Has it ever been worth it?
I'm going to say, in one way, no, but in another way, yes. Because of the fact that I wouldn't really know whether or not you guys actually cared if you hadn't continued to doing what you did. or if it was just another Ramona thing.
Lorne, come on.
I know you might not believe me, but
Well, no, because that's the
it's
same thing as you telling the sex offender counselor, I had fruit today, when she knows that you've been drinking. I mean, it's the same stuff. You're just kind of...
No, it's not the same. Well, see, you don't know how it feels to go through something like the Ramona thing, because I was being real with her,
Mm-hmm.
and to turn around and find out that she had just been playing a game with me that whole time, just to try to get me to do, get pissed, and so she could record me and put me on the internet, and that all these people were being fake with me, and when I was actually being real with her.
Well, when did Ramona happen? When was that?
It was, I think it ended in 2007, 17, 16, end of 16 or beginning of 17 or something like that.
Okay.
Emma would know.
Okay.
But it was
So
like
then,
10 months
right.
of my life that was just wasted on somebody playing a game with me.
Yeah. So October 7th, 2015 would have been prior to Ramona.
October when?
October 7th, 2015.
Yeah, that was prior. Yeah, that was prior to Ramona.
Okay. So that's when you had turned
Quite
up
sure.
to your class drunk.
Well, so maybe it wasn't. I guess it wasn't because of Ramona there. I was stressed about something. I remember starting to get a headache because my shoulders were tight. Shoulder muscles were tight. So I don't know. I don't remember. So if that was before Ramona, then obviously it wasn't because of Ramona.
Do you think that the reason
But,
is that you have a drinking
Jesus.
problem? And you've had a drinking problem for several years?
Well, yeah, it's obvious I've had a drinking problem for several years. I mean, look at my record on it. It kind of speaks for itself. It's just I never wanted to admit it.
Well, yeah, you never wanted to admit it because that would have meant that you would have had to stop.
Yeah. And I wasn't ready to stop.
No, you weren't
And
ready to stop.
the big reason that I wasn't ready to stop was because I enjoyed going over and drinking with Tony.
I guess it's just amazing to try to think of the logic there, because taking away the point of drinking and driving, but if probation is telling you that you can't drink, then how is it possible that you still do?
I'm not now.
Well, as of
How is it
2
possible
weeks
that I got away
ago,
with it?
you were. And
Right.
when you've had this restriction on you for a long time and you've done it the entire time.
That's a question I can't answer. I don't know the answer to it. Maybe because I didn't cause problems when I did drink.
Well, you were driving after you had been drinking, so that is a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem.
And it's very possible that things were going on. I mean, I know you talk about the Ramona situation, but obviously things were happening that were alcohol related prior to that, where you were abusing it. So did you have that type of relationship with Emma that you would call her up yelling too?
I can't remember. I think it did turn into something like that where I would get mad at Emma or something.
Yeah.
Well, okay, this is something that Mitchell pointed out to me that I never knew until he pointed it out. Was when Emma contacted me.
Mm-hmm.
She sent a package to me, and in that package she had a little note and told me that if I wanted to call her, then I could, and she had the number on there. Well, the number had something to do with the date and the birth date, and and the age of Kayla.
Okay.
Everything, all the numbers had something to do with the sting. And I never put it together, but Mitchell did, and he showed it to me. And I don't remember if I ever mentioned that to Emma or not. But there was like, I don't know, there was things that had happened that I know that I had gotten mad at Emma for, and because I talked to Mitchell, and he'd wind up putting stuff in my head about Emma and people on the internet, and then I confront Emma about it. So I've been up and down with Emma for those few years that me and Emma was up and down because of it.
Okay.
Because of all this stuff that Mitchell put in my head and everything. So naturally I go back and say something to Emma and ask Emma about it all. That's why with the date of Ramona, you're gonna have to ask Emma to be positive, because I'm not gonna remember the date.
I can definitely ask her about that. That's not a problem. And maybe it'll put more of the picture together. But seeing as you're thinking that you got together with her at least a year plus after the incidents were happening where you were getting caught with the alcohol, it says to me that there was a lot going on even before then. And like you were just saying, you probably had that type of interaction with Emma as well. That wasn't
I think
healthy.
I did.
But as far as your relationship with her, do you think that you were possibly feeling romantic toward her, and maybe that's why you would
No,
have the...
I've never felt romantic towards Emma. I've always felt just friendship with Emma.
Okay.
Because she was married, and I won't have anything to do with married women.
Right. Okay. Okay.
The Ramona thing, I scarcely remember when that happened.
Well, it was within the last couple of years. But I mean, the main point that I'm trying to make is that alcohol's been a problem for a really long time. And up until 2 weeks ago, it still was.
It's been 2 years or more since I've had my computer, right?
I don't know exactly.
Do you know when the last video that I put up was?
No, not off the top of my head.
Because it was 2 years. If it was 2 years ago, that it was going to be in 2017.
Okay.
So Ramona was, I don't know, a certain amount of time before that even happened.
Okay. Let me ask you this, and it's already passed, so we're going to move on from here. But I want to ask you, when you did not call for your drug test last Friday, had you been drinking at all?
No, I literally just forgot to call. I had gone out grocery shopping. I had it in my mind to call on my way back, and then I just forgot about it. It's like tonight, I get a call from before 11 o'clock tonight. I get a call then too, and I hung a piece of paper up on my back door window because I'm always looking out the back door. So that way I can see the paper so I can remind me, call in for drug test.
Okay. So you're positive then that the last time that you drank was Monday, the 8th?
I think it was Sunday.
Sunday the 7th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Monday I went in and told class about it.
That you drank?
Yeah.
What did they have to say?
Dwayne said, you drank yesterday? And I said, yeah. He said, but you had it but you knew in your mind that if you drank, you could get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah. He said, well, what possessed you to drink when you knew that you could get in trouble? I said, I don't know. I said, I knew I could get in trouble if I get caught, but for some reason it didn't matter to me. That's where he left the conversation.
That's an important question for you to answer for yourself. Why did you do it anyway?
Right? Why did it not matter to me when it should have?
Yeah, it should have. Absolutely.
I've got so much that I can lose just because of alcohol and stupid move.
But the alcohol is more important. That's where the problem comes in. You're aware of everything that can happen. But because it's not happening, there's a chance that it won't. And
Right.
you're willing to bet on that.
Right. And it's a stupid bet.
It's a really stupid bet.
I've just gotten lucky.
That's all that's happened. That's all that's happened.
I'm tired of being stupid like that. I don't want to be like that. And I don't want to go with homies. And it sucks because it sucks that it's taken all this time, you and Emma and Winnie, to go through what you've gone through, to drill it in my head about Tony.
Well, it's not about drilling things into your head about Tony. It's not about drilling things into your head about driving after you've been drinking or that you're not supposed to be drinking at all. You knew everything that we've said. It's not news.
No, it's not new, but it's some reason I didn't care. Some reason it didn't matter to me. Some reason it was more important for me to go over and drink with Tony.
Right. That's exactly what it comes down to. And you were willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
That something bad was going to happen, like someone else getting hurt.
Yeah. And it was stupid. It was a dumb risk to take.
Even talking to you on the phone, whether it was me or my sister or Emma, Dan, whoever you were talking to at the moment, there were probably several times where you got one over on us. Like we would ask, hey, are you drinking? Yeah.
There might have been. I don't remember if there was or not.
I'm sure that there have been. And most likely it was because we just dropped it. But you would have gotten away with it again. And you probably felt really good about that. Yeah, and that's why you would keep going. And that's what's really frustrating. And it's infuriating because you're thinking, haha, they don't know. Like, I'm smarter than them. Look at me.
I knew I weren't smarter because it's a stupid thing to do.
Well, no, but you were thinking that you were smarter because you were getting away with it. And you were banking on all the other times before when it worked out. When you could lie to your mom and say, I'm not drinking, I'm over Tony's, and we're having a good time talking about fucking Pyramid that's coming on TV.
Huh?
That was the story that you were saying. That you were over Tony's, you were watching game shows on TV, and then all of a sudden you were like, hey, Tony, wouldn't it be funny if $1,000 Pyramid came on TV this time? And then it came on, and you were like, ha, ha, ha. You repeated that story. Right,
what's
exactly.
Funny is that actually did happen.
Okay, whatever. I mean, but I'm just saying that it was something that you kept, like, harping on. Like, hey, make sure you listen to this really closely. I know what I'm talking about. I definitely wasn't drinking. But you were shit-faced.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, you were trying to convince me, and you were trying to convince everyone else that you weren't drinking. And that's what happens every single time that you're drinking.
I know, because when I get to drinking, I think I can fool people.
Yeah, and look what happens, Lorne. Look who's the fucking fool. Who is it?
I know. It's me.
Right. It's always you.
But it took a lot of drilling and a lot of you guys being persistent for me to see how foolish I was. It really, that's what I call somebody really caring when they go through what you guys went through with me.
Well, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's your problem. So if you decide I'm going to put one over on them and say that I'm not drinking, I'm going to get pissed off and start yelling, and I'm going to insist that I didn't have anything to drink today. And that's not the reason why I'm acting like an asshole or whatever. You're going to be really proud of yourself, but at the end of the day, you're the one with the problem. We aren't.
I know.
So just like I had said to you one other time, that what do you think is going to happen to me if you get pulled over for drunk driving? Do you remember what I said to you?
Nothing's going to happen to you.
Right.
A lot would happen to me.
Everything's going to happen to you. Hopefully, you're the only one. Hopefully, there's
Yeah.
no one else involved that you would have hit. But I'm saying that the impact of that is going to be completely on you. None of it's going to be on me. I would hear the news and be like, fucking asshole. And then I go about my day. I wouldn't be sad. I wouldn't be worried about you. Nothing. And that's how everyone would be, because they'd be like, what took them so long?
I know. And things would ramp up on the internet about me, too.
I bet you that if it had happened, your mom would say the same thing.
Oh, yeah. She would.
Why do you want to prove everyone right that you're just a fuck up?
I don't want to prove everyone right.
Then the only way for you to do that is to not be one.
I know. That's why I started listening.
As of 2 weeks ago, after years of you trying to be smarter than everyone, years of you being in complete fucking denial, years of you passing polygraph tests when you've lied, there's your evidence that's supporting you to keep doing things the way that you've been doing them, because you haven't been pulled over drunk driving. I can do it one more time. I can do it again. They're not going to catch me. They don't patrol these roads. I live in fucking Maine.
I know you're right.
So what you have to do, instead of saying, I'm changed now, I don't drink anymore, drinking is out of my life, you just have to do that. You have to live that life instead. Because everyone's heard all of this before. You think you know what people want to hear and that they're going to be proud of you. And that's enough. That's enough to get you by. So that in secret, you can still continue doing the same behavior.
See, I know now I don't want to do this enough to make people happy to hear my words.
Because really, at the end of the day, nobody cares, Lorne.
Yeah.
Everyone has to go about their own lives. And so if you end up flushing your life down the toilet again, everyone's going to say, okay. And then they're just move on.
See, I care what happens to my life.
Well, good. You absolutely should.
And I care about the way people see me, too. I don't want people seeing me in a bad way.
Well, the only way that you can change that is for you to not act in a bad way. And not just because you think it's hidden.
I know.
And so that's the point that I've tried to make with you several times, and you've gotten upset every single time. But the point is, when you were talking to Molly, that was in secret. When you're talking to Melissa, that was in secret. When you're talking to Kayla, that was in secret. When you were talking to Disney Girl, Kimmy, all the other people that you were trying to hit up, everything was in secret. When you were talking to Rhoda, that was in secret. So in order for you to be a good person, you have to do it when no one's watching. You don't need to get credit. That's not how you validate that you're a good person. Who cares?
I don't know if I really care to pat. Well, I care to pat myself on the back.
I'm not talking about you though. I'm saying that you get your validation from everyone else. That's where you look for it.
Yeah, I did, and that's what. Well, that's why I say things too, because I want you to know that I'm trying to do good things and I'm trying to not screw up.
Well, that's fine, but I mean, as far as you doing things for show, so that other people are patting you on the back, so that other people are showing you that they care about you. And I understand everybody always wants to feel loved, but it is not everyone's job to make you feel that way.
Yeah.
But you make it their job. You want it to be their job. Just like when we were going through the chat yesterday. See how annoying you were?
Yeah, I did too.
I mean, God, you're basically harping the entire night about make sure you wake me up. Make sure you wake me up. You don't want me to miss this interview. That's our money for me to come and see you. Make sure you wake me up.
Oh, fuck. I was fucking irritating myself so bad.
Yeah,
Just
you're
reading it, I was like, what the
fucking
fuck?
annoying as shit. Oh my God. And that's why Anna was frustrated. That's why I was frustrated. And that's why you were frustrated too, because
I was tired of reading that shit. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm gonna be
yes,
so fucking pathetic.
yes. And that's what it comes down to as well. I know the other stuff is disgusting about like, look at my penis and all that stuff. But when we take away the perversion of that and you're trying to look at what is the pattern here, you're looking for validation. Like, is she thinking about me? Is she thinking about me every fucking second? Because then if she is, then she really loves me.
I'd like to be able to figure out how I ever got that way.
Without knowing your family and how you interacted with each other, you had given clues as to always wanting to have that level of attention from everyone. When you say, I idolized my brothers and sisters growing up, and you're wanting the love from your mom, and your dad left, and there's a million different reasons, and we've talked about a lot of them. You know that you're a needy motherfucker.
I know. Well, I'm wondering if it stems from not having the attention that I wanted when I was growing up from my older siblings.
Well, it's possible. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist and be able to look back on all that stuff. But the fact is that you are almost 50 years old. Everyone else has moved on.
I know, and I got stuck there for so many years. It's just like the Paulo thing. I was stuck there for so many fucking years, wasted so many years of my life stuck thinking about Paula.
Blaming Paula. You're calling her all kinds of names, like she's a piece of trash. And we've talked about that too, that she didn't owe you anything.
Yeah. Jesus. I wasted so many years blaming other people.
Everyone else, everyone, for every single thing that has happened to you. Every failure, every success has been based on other people. Starting all the way back to fucking basketball.
I wonder if, like, I don't know. I don't know where it came from other than my dad. But I never even really knew my dad.
Well, no, you didn't know your dad, but you knew that he was gone. And it was probably for the best. It sounds like he was a horrible person.
He was.
But you also can't keep looking externally for everything that has happened, for every reason, for everything that's happened. In particular, when it comes to your own decisions.
Jesus sucks. Sucks so bad that I can blame so many people for decisions I made.
Even looking back on this paper I just read you were saying, oh yeah, I showed up at class drunk because of Ramona. And oh yeah, I remember that day now. My muscles were really tight, so I was having a headache, so I drank. I mean, all of it is like just a constant excuse.
A bad excuse.
And it's constant. You would have been better off saying, I drank because I wanted to. I drank because I like the way that it makes me feel. I like it better when I'm drunk rather than when I'm sober.
Yeah, but I don't like it better when I'm drunk. Don't like it better when I'm drunk because I act like an asshole.
You don't care that you're acting like an asshole at that time. You say the most vile things when you're drunk, and you don't care. All you want to do is not feel the way that you're feeling at the time, whether it's rejected or lonely or disappointed that, your life went down the toilet. That's the reason why you want to drink.
That's a terrible reason to drink.
Well, it's an unhealthy one, of course.
That should be the time when I don't want to drink.
But that's because you have an alcohol problem. That's not what you do. You don't not drink during the times when you're feeling upset. It's the same thing with anyone with any kind of an addiction. At times of stress, that's when you want to engage in it. So whether it's smoking or doing drugs or drinking, there's going to be a trigger of stress, and then that's going to be your drive in order to have you go and do it. And
Then
all
I
of
get
this
nothing
stuff,
done.
what do you mean nothing done? Because you don't clean up your house? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I clean up my house. I've been cleaning up my house more and more all the time now.
Well, you said it. You just said, like, getting stuff done. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I mean. Like my house, the outside of my house, the homework class, I don't get that done. It's because I go out and drink instead. If I get upset, I want to drink.
Right, you get upset and you want to drink.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with your smoking. How many times have you said that you're not smoking anymore?
I know. And I hate not. I really do hate smoking because it ruins my voice. And I know you can hear when I leave voicemails with me singing. At the end of the day, I know you can hear the difference between what I sound like in the morning and what I sound like in the afternoon because I can hear it. And that bothers me.
Doesn't bother you enough to stop. So here's the thing. Either you're going to do it or you're not. Any of the decisions that you make regarding smoking, regarding drinking, regarding overall being a good person, not lying about everything, all of that stuff is going to come from you. That's what matters. That's all that matters.
I don't want to lie about anything.
But
now,
you do.
Anymore.
That's the thing. I don't want to. I don't want to do the thing that I'm saying that I don't want to do, but I'm still going to do it anyway. I mean,
I did.
Well,
don't do it now.
listen, I don't want to hear, I don't do it now because it's only been 2 weeks since you drank, allegedly. And it's going to take a long distance of time in order for that declaration of, I don't do that anymore, to be valid.
No, I know.
You know, you didn't wake up this morning as a different person. You didn't wake up yesterday as a different person. That's not the way that it works. All you're doing at that point by saying, I don't do that now, is you're trying to convince me that you don't do it.
I think I'm not wanting you to lose faith in me.
Well, in order to have faith, there has to be something to have faith in. It just doesn't happen. It's not something that blindly should ever happen.
No. See, it's like today. Failing that test really upset me quite a bit because I was so open with them.
Well, tell me about the questions, and that was something that I meant to ask you. Tell me about the questions. Did you write them down?
There's only 2 questions that I can remember. And those were 2 of the 3 that from where I failed because he said he did it different with me this time. It was the first time that he has tried this on anybody, and he like put them in a group, the questions in a group.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly the way he did it, but he said it was different the way he was doing it. But one was, have you drank in the last 2 weeks? And the other was, have you told the truth about the amount you drank? Those are the 2 that I remember. I can't remember what the third one was. But
automatic fail.
What do you mean automatic fail?
I could have told you that you would have failed those questions.
About the amount that I drank?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I opened up to him about it. And he asked me if I minimized it with Dwayne and Marie, and I said yes.
Okay, but when he asked you, do you lie about, what was the question? Do you lie about, or do you minimize the amount that you drink? What did you say?
It was, have you told the truth about the amount that you drank?
Okay, and what did you say?
I said yes.
That's a lie.
Because I told him before.
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
I told him.
Just because you confess right before the test, when he asks you the question, have you lied? And you say, no, I haven't lied. Then you just lied.
Yes, because I lied. Because I lied to Maria. I didn't even think about that. He asked me what I was thinking when I thought about those questions. He read those questions to me.
Mhm.
And I couldn't think at the time because the only thing I could think was I was trying hard not to fall asleep because the whole room is yellow and the light was coming in, big windows right in my face, so it was making my eyes tired. And I told him that. I told him this room is making my eyes tired, and I feel like I'm falling asleep.
Mhm.
And that was in between the tests because he did the test 3 times. He'd do it once, then he'd stop and he'd go through it, and then let me take a little break. Then he'd do it again. Then he'd let me take a little break. Then he'd do it again. The way he worded it, I guess, screwed me up because I had told him, but I had lied to Maria and Dwayne about it.
Right.
So I had opened up to him, but I hadn't opened up to Maria and Dwayne about it.
Did he ask you the same question 3 times?
Yeah, just in a different way.
Okay.
So I guess now I know why I held that up.
Yeah.
That sucks. He said one of them was a positive 1, and there was one that was a -2 and one that was -4. And he said he did the math with him, and it wound up being a -5 for that group of questions,
Okay.
which means a fail.
So what is Bryce going to have to say about this? Because you're going to meet him on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, well, that's not the reason that Bryce wanted to see me. He wanted to see me about the drug testing, and what the polygrapher said today, it was also to let me know that Mitchell's going to be my new probation officer again.
Oh, okay. So what did he want to talk to you about the drug testing? Because you missed the calls?
No, I think it's because I bitched to Maria about it being foolish because I wanted something that I could blow in right then, like the breathalyzer. I wanted that again. That way it would be right then and there, and it'd be easier for me to take my mind away from the alcohol, from if I wanted alcohol.
What do you think he's gonna say?
I don't know. I don't know what he's going to. I think I'm going to have to wind up taking it again, because from what Mike said, the polygrapher, from what he said, he told me, he said, don't drink from now until your next test. So they have you do your next test. He said, don't drink, because that's the question they're going to be asking you is if you have drank anything between now and the next test. So I'm assuming that they're going to have me take the test again, probably in a few months. Probably.
Have you thought that maybe Maria is unassigned because you're failing the tests and you're not really following the terms of your probation, and they think that you need somebody different to convince you to not do that anymore?
No, because I think Maria's leaving the state.
Oh, is she?
I think so. I don't think she's going to be there anymore.
Oh, okay.
Because Mitchell left. I can only figure that Mitchell must have gone out of state to train for that amount of time, because usually when that happens, that's one of them's going to train and another one's just taking the place until they're done training.
Well, that's been a couple of years, right?
Well, it's been like, crap, how long has it been? How long have I been here? I've been here a couple of years. Yeah, it's been a couple of years. And with you saying that, just remind me, it's been over 2 years.
Yeah, because in 2017 was when Bryce showed up and he said Maria was with him. Yeah. And that's when he saw the beer bottles.
Right. So maybe Mitchell just transferred because he wanted to move to a different state. And maybe he just didn't like it in that state, came back.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So somewhere along the line, I'll ask Mitchell what happened. See if he tells me.
Yeah, he could just be moving back. Who knows?
He might tell me. He's not such a bad guy. I mean, he's questionable with some things, but
Like what?
well, question on whether or not, whether he likes male or female. That's I question. I question whether he's gay or not
Why?
because of the way he acts.
Well, what
I
does
guess
he
it's
act
not
like?
so much the way he. I guess it's not so much the way he acts as the way he wears his hair. I guess
His what?
his hair.
His hair.
Yeah, because he'll well, sometimes his hair looks fine and it's short, but then it's like he'll grow it out long so that he parts it on the side, and it's like it falls down by his eyes, and he's having to shake his head to move his hair out of his eyes.
So why does that mean he's gay?
Well, then it just I don't know, just some things about the way he acts. It makes me question whether or not he's gay.
Okay, but why does that make him questionable with certain things? Like that's what you're kind of implying, that maybe he's not the best probation officer because he might be gay.
Well, before it was there were times when I felt a little uncomfortable with him before.
Like why?
Just because of the way that he acts sometimes. But
Yeah,
then
but
there are
what?
sometimes that he acts like completely, that I'm completely comfortable around him, and
Okay,
it
but
doesn't seem so bad.
what did he do to make you think that he was hitting on you? Because that's ultimately what the issue is. You're thinking that he's attracted to you.
Well, yeah, but I didn't think that he was hitting on me. I knew he wouldn't do that because of him being my probation officer. But I don't know. It's just something happened a couple of times that made me uncomfortable.
Okay, like what?
I don't know. I don't remember what it was. It was just
Yes,
something.
you
Something.
do. You have to.
No.
If something happened that gave you an idea that maybe he's gay and maybe he's feeling a certain way toward you, because that's really the only reason why you would feel uncomfortable, is if you're thinking that he wants you. So
I
what
don't
is it?
remember
Did
what it
he
was
walk
though.
past you and he had a boner or something and he like rubbed it against your arm? What could it possibly
No.
be?
He's never been that close to me.
Did he eat a banana looking into your eyes or something?
No, because I've never seen him eating.
Okay.
I don't know. There's just something about the way he was standing at some point, or
What was that? You broke up
I said,
there.
it was something about the way he was standing, or something that made me there was something that made me uncomfortable about him. I can't pinpoint it. Even then, I couldn't quite pinpoint it, but it just made me uncomfortable, and that's what made me think that he might be gay. And then there was the way that he wore his hair that really, made me wonder that also. But, so I don't know. I mean, he might be completely straight for all I know. I don't know. It's just there was a time when I remember there was a couple times that I was uncomfortable. I can't pinpoint the reason why. But
Okay, so aside from that, which you don't know anything about,
that's right. I don't know anything about it.
okay, so are you thinking that he's seen your pictures?
Oh God, yeah, I know he has.
Okay, so is that what's making you uncomfortable? So you're thinking that he's gay and he also saw your disgusting pictures?
That might. Gee, thanks for the word disgusting.
Welcome.
That might be part of what made me uncomfortable. But really, thanks for that word disgusting.
I think it's really funny that you are having this idea about Mitchell, and really, who cares? Whether he's gay or not. He has to do a job, and that's what he's going to do. He probably doesn't give a shit about you,
He probably doesn't.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't. It's at the time. I mean, my thoughts were completely different at the time than what they are now.
Okay. So you're going to be able to work with him and have the expectation that he's going to be professional just like he always has.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
So
really
is there
wasn't bad to
anything
work
else?
with.
Okay. So what about anything else that makes him questionable, as you say?
No, there's nothing else.
Okay. Good. Well, it sounds like he knows you. Sounds like he knows your situation. And hopefully it ends up working out well.
I think it will, because I'm a different person than what I was then. All the things are
Okay.
different.
All right. Well, hopefully it stays that way, because it's only been 2 weeks. And you
I
have
know.
several years under your belt of being a real asshole.
I know.
Someone
This
who's
disgusting person.
not able to follow probation, the very rules that could send him back to prison.
This disgusting person understands.
Okay, good. Keep understanding that.
Don't throw that word disgusting in your face, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't care.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Doesn't help that you think I'm disgusting.
I'm not even addressing that because it's really stupid. So just keep working on being a good person and not just what everyone else sees. Be a good person when you're by yourself, when you're just with your dogs, when you're in your truck driving. Just be a good person.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, good.
I'm getting better at it.
Good. Practice makes perfect.
I used to be right on top of it.
No more I used to be's. Because most likely the used to be's aren't exactly what you think they were.
Well, they were then, though.
But you're talking how many years ago, Lorne? Half your life ago?
I know.
If not more than
years
that?
ago. Too many years ago.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, you're just going to have to be better. You're going to have to live the life that you want to live and not just throw smokescreen at everyone and say, I'm going to make you believe that I'm good, and I'm going to make you believe that I don't lie and that I'm living my life one way. But in reality, I'm still going to do everything that I've always done because I'm smarter than everyone else. And I'm going to take a chance because I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, but I know I give a shit. I really do know that I care, and just hate what I put myself through.
Okay, good.
The person I turned out to be because of that shit.
Right. Anyway.
So is this a date that you're going on tonight?
I am going to let you go. And I hope you have a wonderful night.
Yeah, you too. Have fun on your date.
And I hope that you sleep well.
You too.
Okay, bye.